All right, we're going to be reading the Torah reading today. We're up to chapter 5 of the book of Leviticus. And this week's Torah reading for this coming Shabbat was Leviticus 1:1 to 5:19. So as we begin to read chapter 5 of Leviticus, we're seeing all about the sacrifice and the offerings, who to make them and how to make them and what they were for. And we discussed that in the previous chapter about the literal offering, what it does consist of, and what was to be eaten and what wasn't to be eaten, and the holiness of it. And now we start off in chapter 5 of the book of Leviticus. And whom a person sins and hears the voice of swearing, and he is a witness, or he has seen or has known, if he does not reveal it, then he shall bear the iniquity. Or if a soul touches any unclean thing, or the unclean dead body of an animal, or unclean dead body of livestock, or the dead body of unclean swarming things, it being hidden from him, that he is unclean and is guilty. Or if he touches the uncleanness of a man, any of his uncleanness by which he is unclean, and it is hidden from him, and he knows, then he is guilty. Or if a person swears, speaking trashly with the lips to do evil, or to do good, anything which the man speaks rashly with an oath, and it is hidden from him, and he knows, then he is guilty of one of these. And it shall be when he is guilty of one of these, then he shall confess in which he has sinned. So we're up to verse 6. Verse 6 says, and he shall bring his guilt offering to Yah for his sin which he has sinned, a female out of the flock of a lamb, or a doe of the goats for a sin offering, and the priest shall atone for him regarding his sin. And if his hand does not reach to a lamb, then he shall bring his guilt offering. He who has sinned 2 turtle doves or 2 offspring of a dove, to Yah, one for a sin offering and one for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the priest, who shall bring near for a sin offering, and he shall nip off its head from its neck, but shall not divide it. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and that which remains of the blood shall be drained at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. And he shall offer the second for a burnt offering, as by decree. And the priest shall atone for him because of the sin which he has sinned, and he shall be forgiven. And if his hand cannot reach to the 2 turtle dove or offspring of the dove, then he sinned shall bring his offerings, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall not put oil on it, nor put frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. Verse 12. And he shall bring it to the priest, and shall take from his full handful the memorial offering, and shall burn it as incense on the altar, on the fire of offering of Yah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall atone for him for his sin, which he sinned from one of these, and it shall be forgiven him. And he shall be for the priest, and it shall be for the priest as a food offering. And Yah spoke to Moses, saying, if a person acts unfaithfully and sins through ignorance against the holy things of Yah, then he shall bring his guilt offering to Yah, a ram without blemish, out of the flock of your out of your evaluation in silver shekels, by the shekel of the sanctuary for a guilt offering. And he shall make good that in which he has sinned against the holy thing, and he shall add its fifth part to it, and give it to the priest, and the priest shall atone for him with the ram of the guilt offering, and it shall be forgiven him. All right, we're up to verse 17 now of chapter 5 of Leviticus, talking about intentional, unintentional sin and how to make restitution for it according to the Levitical priesthood back then. But today we know we have our high priest and Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. But remember these offerings. We must offer something as an offering for our sin, and not just have them automatically forgotten or wiped away like there's going to be no consequences. Yah can wipe everything away and does through the blood of Yeshua for those that are righteous and repentive. Verse 17. And if a person sins and he has done that which is not to be done from any one of the commands of Yah, and does not know it, and be guilty, and bears his iniquity, then he shall bring a ram without a blemish from the flock at your evaluation for a guilt offering to the priest, and the priest shall atone for him for his sin of error which he erred, and he did not know, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a guilt offering. Truly, he is guilty before the face of Yah. That was the Torah reading for this coming Sabbath. Thank you all for listening. May you remember that on the Sabbath and read it and understand it. Until then, everybody, Yah be with you and have a blessed day. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.